What you girls doing? Hmm? Hi, I hope everybody's having a wonderful morning or afternoon or evening, whatever you have. Um, it's been a while since I've done a garden tour. It hasn't been busy, but it's been busy at the same time. Chickens are grown. They're laying eggs now, so this has been super fun. Um, but let's go ahead. The garden is a mess. we did like a hard transition from trying to keep the garden alive from summer to fall. We're in fall now. Um, just looking at it, looks like my pumpkins just not doing good. I have pumpkins. I'm sure I can harvest my pumpkins, but we'll get there when we get there. So let me just turn this camera around. I have not prepped anything for this tour. I just want to go ahead and show everybody my garden, and then we'll go from there. My friend actually moved from Arizona to North Dakota, so I actually inherited her garden, her little container garden. So this is pretty exciting. The garden's a mess right now, but it's fine. Everybody's garden's a mess. If it's not a mess, then somebody else is gardening for you. No. This is a bed that she had, and this is another bed that she had. I inherited both of them from her. She wasn't able to bring her garden with her. I know it's very sad, but I'm sad that she left. But I'm happy that I have a little piece of her here. So she originally had this serrano pepper and this jalapeno pepper, and this pepper was the tiniest little thing when I first got the plant. And there was this serrano at the very bottom. But in the last couple of days, I think the last 2 days, I was like, oh my God, we have peppers. We have peppers everywhere. So this is super exciting. I did go out and buy some sage because I'm a big fan of that right now. I do have some seeds growing here, just radish and random seeds. Well, I did just put radish seed over there because yesterday I had this covered in beautiful radish seed. Beautiful. It was all just flourishing. It was great. And I came out like a couple hours later and they were decimated by something. Ate my radish seed and my peas. So I had peas here. Some of them might make them. I did replant some seed yesterday. Oh, I didn't put that one under the soil. I replanted more radish seed here. I was so sad though, because radish doesn't take long to grow. And I don't know, whatever. It's still sad when something eats all of your crop. I have some carrot seed here. I do have some more peas. These ones look like they were getting eaten. But that's some pea snaps there. I have beets in here, and this is another plant I inherited. It's a tomatillo. She kept them alive all summer long. We had a very hard summer. We didn't have any rain, but it's super gloomy right now, if you can see. But I've continued to keep them alive, and they're, producing, and they got some nice size little tomatillos in there. Probably like a little bit bigger than a dime size. That's pretty cool. I also inherited this little pepper plant. She didn't water her garden couple days, or actually maybe a week before she left, because she assumed she was going to take her garden with her. So a lot of things were a little hard, dried, but they're coming back. I also have this little pepper plant I'm looking at right now. It looks like it's got some new. This is all new right here, so that's pretty cool. Nice, good job, chickens. Let's see. I planted some garlic maybe like a week, 2 weeks ago. So they're coming up. I'm not sure about that though. I thought you were supposed to plant garlic, and maybe it was too mature when I planted it because it's sprouting. I always heard that you plant garlic and you harvest it in spring. But there's that. She had this, and she had cilantro in it previously, and I think the seeds are coming back, so that's pretty cool. I planted ginger in here. It's not the growing time for ginger, I don't think, or potatoes, but I have yellow yellow potatoes here and red potatoes here, and I'm only remembering that because red is R and it's on the right. But look, I didn't just see this. It's so cute. Look at it, they look like little rosebuds. How cute is that? It's so cool. I'm excited. I need to top this off with more soil. I planted these the same time I planted the garlic, and maybe 5 days ago I noticed a little bit of green coming up, which was this one. But all of this is coming up, and I think that is the coolest thing. I'm growing potatoes. Yep. This is another tomatillo plant that my daughter is also decimating. She just took off all the tomatillos. I'm surprised these ones are still sitting here. When I get to the tomatoes, you'll see that I have to have them put up so she don't eat the tomatoes. Oh, it's so funny. I got some chickens here. Hey guys. I get the lemongrass that I planted. Actually, I saved it from the nursery. It was awful. But I just put it in a bigger dish, and then I've been watering it. And then I'll transplant it into something better when it comes back. I have this beautiful sunflower. None of my sunflowers came from the garden. And I'm so happy I was able to get this one sunflower from my friend. It's just been blossoming since I've gotten it. It was blossoming for her too, but she had like 1 or 2 blossoms, and every day I come at her, there's like a new blossom. It's beautiful. I planted some nasturtiums in here. I love nasturtiums. I planted nasturtiums earlier this year, like January, and they did wonderful, and I wanted to plant them for fall, and time got away from me, but I got them in. This was covered in, not covered, but we had plenty of summer squash in this bed. I have a pumpkin in this bed that's growing. I think the disease is just taking it out. It has been cooler too, so it needs to go. We're going to be taking that out very soon, the next couple of days. But I had a very successful crop of summer squash. I was swimming in summer squash, and that was what was in here a few weeks ago, but I tore those all up. I need a plan though, because I don't want them in here. I want to utilize this for gardening, of course, but they really enjoy it now, so there's no crop in it right now except for the one pumpkin vine, so they can have it for now, and they really are happy about it. I love watching them scratch away. It's fun. I need to put some covers on these too. I just did some, chaos lettuce seed gardening. I just threw seeds in here because I just want some lettuce, but some birds keep coming and taking my seed, but I do have some seedlings coming in, some stuff coming in, so I need to cover all that stuff up. But we got some pumpkins. This one's not doing so good. I don't think I think the pumpkin needs to go. And then I actually have a spaghetti squash there. I can't say spaghetti for the life of me. But before, like in the middle or end of June. Sorry, I'm gonna step on you, honey. July actually. I planted squash seeds. I was just like, I didn't get anything all summer long. I tried to keep everything alive. The only thing that was really the only thing that was flourishing was my basil, which is amazing right now. It's so beautiful. It's turning into a tree. And I would never put the basil in there in the first place. I probably would have just put it in its own designated spot. But we're learning. That's how we do things. But it's beautiful. But going back to the pumpkin and squash, I had such the hard time this summer. We had no rain, which is really, not weird, but for months we didn't have a monsoon. We had nothing. It was just drier than dry. I think we had like 1 or 2 days of rain, and it rained for like 2 minutes, and that was it. But so I planted a bunch of pumpkin and squash in July, and corn and sunflowers and beans in this bed, and nothing came up. Maybe 1 or 2 corns and that one sunflower stalk. What I mean when I said that I did not get any sunflowers. I did have like a head here, and I was advised to cut it off, but it never came back. Hey, get out of my carrot bed. Hey. You can have those later. Come on, honey. After I harvest them, of course. But I sat in the bed and nothing came up except for the 2 corn stalks that didn't even make it. But all the pumpkin, most of the pumpkin and squash, all the pumpkin and squash came up. I'm gonna say that. I actually had to cut some out because there were plants on plants on plants. So that's why I had such a good, summer squash abundance. And then squash and pumpkin also in here, but I was just, you know, this I wasn't really this looks awful, guys. I can't even look at it. But I was utilizing this bed. I did plant other random seeds in it, but when my chickens started laying, Genovia here, she actually came in and she was just trying to lay an egg. She was like, I'm trying to lay an egg, and I'm gonna mess up this garden bed. She was digging in it. I'll see if I have a video. I do have a video, but I'm gonna have to see about if I can put it in this recording. But I was just trying to be a good, you know, grandma. Whatever. It was pretty funny. I was like, are you okay? I mean, I don't care, but if you're gonna give me an egg, it's fine. Just ruin my garden. But obviously they can have all the pumpkin vine that they want. Moving on, I think in August, no, September, we're in November now. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Before, I don't know. We'll say August, September. I planted, maybe even later than that, I planted a bunch of carrot seed, which is doing wonderful. I did plant, I think 3 varieties. So we'll see. I planted like the colorful, like the purple, orange, and whatever carrot variety, and then the stumpy. I'm just saying things to myself, but I have some thyme that's nooked up in here. I actually just harvested this a few days ago. It was beautiful. It smells delicious. Smells delicious just sitting here, along with this basil, of course. I've just been plucking some at the top whenever I can. I did see a flowering bud yesterday, but I got to it. The chickens don't really eat the basil though. I give it to them all the time, and they're just like, nah. And then my mint is coming back. He's barely holding on all summer long. Look at it. It's got little seeds in here. The chickens don't really mind the mint either. But that's that. Got a nice big old pumpkin right here. Not really, but big enough for me. This is my first time growing. Really exciting. I have like 5 pumpkins off of like 2 plants. So I can't complain. Nope. All right, we're coming over here to the tomatoes that I have right here. These are tomatoes this is a tomato this is the original tomato plant that I bought. If you've been with me since I started my YouTube channel, I bought 3 tomatoes and they got hit by a frost. Sorry, I'm under this little canopy here. I got hit by a frost and I kept them alive. I cut them down. I wasn't even expecting it, and they all came back. But honestly, I would rather deal with a tomato that's been hit by frost than deal with a tomato that was trying to survive this summer, Arizona summer, with barely any shade, because that's my fault. It's not the tomato's fault. Browned, I've been trying to come in here and cut off whatever I can, but then it's just got this random leader here with these beautiful tomatoes. So it's coming back. It's been coming back. Got little things here. I did plant some flowers in here, and this one's blooming. I think I just planted flowers everywhere because I wanted it. But I think I found a rat in my garden at multiple times actually. He would eat my tomatoes, but he would grab a tomato and then he would go to a different, and he would eat them inside the pot. So I would get seeds that planted. So there's like a bunch of tomato plants in here, and I need to get them out. But see, there's one right here. It's all beautiful. It's all amazing. It's like the little circle of life. I was very mad at that rat, but now I got like 6 tomato plants here that are struggling, and I really should get them out. But I had the tomato plants on this table because over and just taking every tomato she could, green, and was eating them. And I couldn't. I was like, I have to see them change at least. When they do change, I say, okay, you can have a tomato, you know. All these tomatoes are for her. She loves her tomatoes. But I had, early summer, I had all of the tomatoes, and I preserved some, and then obviously made some sauces out of them. So it was really nice to have those. And I'm really glad that they semi-survived the summer. They're coming back, but we do have a frost scheduled, a light frost scheduled in hi little bee, taking a little rest there. It's scheduled maybe like 25 days, I think. Last time I checked, it was like 30 days. So I'm just gonna say that. I don't know how much time's gone by, but the little bee taking a rest right here. Oh, this tomato plant. I don't know what's going on with this one. I was just looking at it a couple days ago, and I was like who's eating? I mean, my baby didn't eat all of these. So something else is getting into my garden. I was looking for a hornworm because this kind of looks like some damage that a hornworm would do, but I don't know. This is a sun gold tomato that I have that also is sunburnt. You can see it a little bit. And I actually thought about, come on, focus, cutting it down, but every time I came out to look at it, new growth was happening off of these. So, and you can see here, like, this is all new too, and it's all pretty. And this, you know, there's nutrients going to it. So that's good. But going back to these flowers, I know I keep going back and forth. I'm so excited. I planted calendula and zinnias, but this, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to double check. I'm gonna have to look at the flower again. I've never planted these or grown these types of flowers before, but this is beautiful just looking at it. And I know some people deadhead them. They just take the top off so they branch out more. But there's a bunch of branches here already. So what should I do? Let me know. Should I deadhead this? I don't want to. It's beautiful. It's already blooming. Do I need... If I do, I'll do it to this one. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. I had success with the summer squash. I wanted to grow one more plant just to see how it would go into fall or winter. I probably will never grow squash ever in the early summer, like spring into summer. I'll never do that. Maybe spring I'll grow it, but once summer hits, my garden, I'm putting it to rest like people would do in like the northern states when they have winter. I'm never gardening during the summer. I'm saying that now, but I probably won't do that. It's too fun, but it was so, I mean, we had such a wet winter last year, and then for the summer that we had, it was just impossible. But I dealt with squash bugs, and by the time I saw the issue, I was just like, go away, plant, just go away. Thank you for being here, but you need to leave. But so I had so many squash bugs, but once it started to cool down, the squash bug, I haven't seen a squash bug in forever. So I did have some successful summer or like yellow squash, but zucchini I didn't. I had like one or two plants towards the end that I also planted with when I did the chaos gardening of the squash seed, I think. And then towards the end I had like I harvested my very first zucchini plant, which I did post here on YouTube. And then I had another plant that actually grew two big zucchinis, like as big as my forearm. It was pretty cool. So I was like, yeah, I got zucchini. So that was pretty exciting, you know. Either none or all, I guess. But so I wanted to give that another try. And I don't think this is a good time either because there's been a lot of aphids on the actual plant. So I haven't sprayed any of my garden or any. Like it's bad. So I don't know if I'm going to try keeping this plant alive. There's some zucchini. This isn't going to make it, but there's no male flowers on it. It's just overdoing it. But I wanted to see how they would grow during the fall and winter. So I also planted acorn squash because I thought that was a part of my chaos gardening. And it wasn't. So I think like 2 weeks ago I planted this seed. Actually, I mean, of course there's aphids on it, but there's some acorn squash coming in. I actually didn't even know I didn't even know that was the spaghetti squash over there. For the longest time I thought it was a white pumpkin. I was like, oh cool, got a white pumpkin coming in. But yeah, so this is the acorn squash, and I'm really excited. And I wish I planted. I wish I didn't have the burnout that I had for the gardening season, because man, it's hard. It's hard when you have the burnout and you're like, I don't want to plant anything because it's all getting eaten, or it's not getting enough water, or it's too hot. It was really hard, but I just kept trucking along, small things here and there. And then I think about a month ago, I went out and bought a lemon tree. I just did it. I was like, I want a lemon tree. Oh, good. The lemons are turning yellow. My daughter did grab one of them off, but it was a small one. So these were the original lemons that were on it. They're doing so good. So I'm excited. It smells delicious. It's blooming. Oh, there's ants on this, but I'm doing something right. Ah, go away, ants. Because there's blooms on it and it smells amazing. I just put it in a pot and I planted some flowers in there also. I'm just looking at a dyed watermelon plant. I had a watermelon plant going on and I had a good sized watermelon. It was like about, this big. And I came out one day and it was gone. I said, who the heck would just come over and steal my watermelon? I have no idea. Would it be a squirrel? Like, what? I just rolled it away. Like, I don't know. It was big enough for nothing to be able to pick it up and just take off with it. And it was my only watermelon. So I was like, I'm just going to let it go. Bye. But yeah, that's my garden right now. I do have some seedlings going on right here. I made my little self a makeshift greenhouse. So that's all going there. I did leave this open one time. One of these days. A few days ago. It's inevitable. I just can't. Something came over and took a bunch of my seeds. So I do have all the seeds that I wrote down on a piece of paper. So I'm going to see what crop I lost or what I can replant. It's just so hard because every time I plant it accordingly to like the frost or, when we'll get rain or how long it takes to grow. And whenever I did that first crop, that first planting just did not make it. Something happened. It was just, I was fighting everything. And then maybe 3 weeks later, I'd replant it. And then if it grew, it grew. So that was my way of gardening. And it was exhausting a little bit, but I'm excited for what the rest of the fall season is going to bring and what winter is going to bring. Because we can grow here in Arizona during winter. I mean, even, I think December we have a light frost. December, it's cold, but we don't get any hard freezes, so I'm not going to lose anything. So I did plant frost tolerant plants. So I'm playing with a little baby doll. My baby left out here. But my next steps, I'm going to go ahead and clean up this pumpkin. I might add that to this video, I might not, or I might just save it for a short or something. Let me know. But let me know if you enjoyed this video, this garden tour. I think it's a lot. I'm more excited when I get to share these things with you, and I hope you are having a good gardening season. If you aren't, I hope that this will inspire you. I had a hard gardening seasons, and that's a part too about Arizona. There's 4 growing seasons. There's not just one big one. So whenever I'm starting to get one crop going, I'm gotta worry about the next season and then the next season. Are you eating the lemon balm? Yeah. Give me a honey bunches. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. Where's that buttercup? Yeah. I don't got any treats. No, I don't. This is Charlotte. Hi, Charlotte. You're so sweet. Yes, you are. Where's that? Is that a bird? These are the Powerpuff Girls. This is Bubbles, aka Blondie. She was the first chicken that I named, but she was named Blondie in the beginning. Blossom and Buttercup. Bubbles, of course, because she's blonde. Blossom, because she's got red hair. And Buttercup, because she's darker and she has no tail feathers. I don't know what it is. So that she's a Easter egger, so she's a mixture of a Aurigana and Americana, and one of the chicken breeds do not have tail feathers. And Buttercup has short black hair, so it was inevitable for me to name the girls after the Powerpuff Girls. All right, thanks for watching. Be blessed.